Good morning everyone, I'm live. Please check and confirm if you all can see me. Good morning Sanjana, good morning Ananda Kumari. Please confirm that the audio and the video both are clear. Okay. Good morning everyone, I believe everything is clear. Shall we start off with today's session now? Okay. Now I'll just open my PPT and we will start off with what we learned yesterday. We'll do a quick revision and then we'll go to today's topic. Okay. So friends, in the previous class, we learned about marginal costing basics. So first we started with the structure of the factory. Am I right? Inside the structure, we had the structure of a company in which we had the factory. After factory, we had the point of sale. And after the point of sale, we had the planning department. Am I right? Inside factory, we had the following. What were the following coming inside factory? You had store, you had production, you had inspection, and finally you had what? You had dispatch. Here also we had a lot of planning departments. One was sale, one was production, purchase, HR, finance, R&D. These were the planning departments, and here was the point of sale. Logistics was coming in, wholesaler, retailer, distributor, whatever you want to call it was coming over here. I hope you remember this part, friends. Alright. After this, we went to the next thing called as marginal costing basics. Here we learned the concept of contribution. Okay. Then we learned the concept of PV ratio. After PV ratio, we learned about break-even point, and finally we learned about margin of safety. This was simple, selling price minus variable cost. So this will give you for every 1 unit you sell, how much is the money you get, which initially contributes to fixed cost and subsequently contributes to the profits. PV ratio will give you for every 100 rupees, what is the contribution that you are getting over there. This point is called as no profit, no loss. We can find out in rupees, we can find out in units, and we can also find out in percentage. Margin of safety is over and above the break-even sale. So if my break-even sale is 100, my total actual sale is 500, I have 400 sales extra over and above. That is called as margin of safety, which can be done in rupees, units, and percentage. I'll do a 1 minute cool off time, friends. Can you recall all these things? After that, today I'll do a little advanced version of marginal costing, and then we'll go to a proper chapter called as pricing. Can you please go through it, friends? In the meanwhile, let me check if the classes is running on YouTube also comfortably. Alright friends, I believe you are all clear with the concepts of contribution, PV ratio, break-even point, margin of safety, and all these things that we learned in the previous class. Today, let us go to the next point called as shutdown point. Okay. I'll give you a very simple example for this first. Example, I'll take some new number now. Let us say we were talking about masala dosa, right? Let us say the selling price is 100 rupees. The variable cost is 60 rupees. So what is the contribution that is coming over here? Is it turning out to be 40? Apart from that, they are having a fixed cost of, let us say, 50,000. This 50,000 is having two types of breakups. Okay. One is what we call it as avoidable fixed cost, and the other one is called as unavoidable fixed cost. Okay. Avoidable fixed cost is, for example, the watchman's salary. Let us assume that is turning out to be 10,000. Unavoidable fixed cost is, let us say, rent, which is 40,000. Why I call watchman salary as avoidable is because there is always a chance that if the company is shutting down, I can throw the watchman out. So that is what we call it as avoidable fixed cost. Whereas if I want to shut down the business also, I might be having a rent agreement for a minimum of 1 year period. So in that case, even if I shut down, I have to pay rent, which is unavoidable fixed cost. Can you put this data in your books first, friends? Please write down this in your books. Alright friends, I believe you have put up till here in your books. Let's give a note for the avoidable and the unavoidable fixed cost. Alright. There are two types of fixed cost. Avoidable and unavoidable. Avoidable fixed costs are those which can be avoided if the company shuts down. Unavoidable fixed costs are those which cannot be avoided even if the company shuts down. Watchman can be fired once company That's down. Okay. What is the second thing? Okay. Rent is normally frozen for a period. Hence, it's unavoidable. Friends, can you write down till here in your books? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books friends? Okay. Friends, just one important information. This class is running parallelly live on multiple YouTube channels also, but I'm not able to access all the chat boxes of all these YouTube channels. So I request all of you who are watching it live, please take this common chat platform. It is called as tarunjagdish.com/chat. Just if you click on this, it will be a common chat platform which will open up, and whatever doubts you have, you can put it over there. You just have to log on to this, put your name, that's it. You don't have to log in with Facebook, or you can do it with Twitter also, but I think just put some name. You can put a name, you can log in, and the moment you log in, whatever chats you have, you can always put it over here. This is not for the students who are already regularly attending the class. Your chat box is already playing over here, as you can see. This is the ones who are watching my classes on YouTube. Since it's not happening on one platform, it's happening on more than 5. It's very difficult for me to go and check the chats happening in each of those platforms. Any doubts, please put it over here. Okay, tarunjagdish.com/chat. Okay, I'll continue now. So my question to you is, okay, at what point will you shut down? This is the question I'm trying to ask you. Okay, so how we will do this, I'll just give you a few numbers based on which we will do it. First, let us find out the break-even point. Friends, break-even point means what? No profit, no loss, correct? So we have the fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Okay, so what is the fixed cost that we are having in this question? Did I say it's 50,000? Okay. The total fixed cost is 50,000 divided by, I believe the contribution is how much? 40. rupees per unit. So what is 50,000 divided by 40? It turns out to be 1250 units. Okay. So if I draw a chart, the chart will go like this. 0 to 1250 you are running at a loss. Anything above 1250 you will be running at a profit. Can you draw this chart and put these things in your books, friends? Please write it down. Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? Okay. So we know that below 1250 it is going to be at a loss, above 1250 it is going to be at a profit, and the question what we are asking over here is at what point will you shut down? Okay, I'll go to the next page now. I'll ask you some questions like units, okay, and based on that you tell me what is the decision. For example, if I am selling 1500 units, okay, I'll just give a heading called as status, and the last column heading would be decision. Okay, suppose if it's 1500 units, is it more than 1250? Yes. So are you going to make a profit or a loss? You will make a profit. If I am making a profit, what should I do? Should I continue or should I shut down? I should continue the business. Okay. My question number 2 to you is, if I am selling only 1000 units, now am I making a profit or a loss? I am making a loss. Okay. Tell me, should I continue the business or should I shut down the business? Write down till here, think and tell me what should I do at this point. Please write it down. Alright friends, I believe you have put up till here. Friends, normally when you go at a loss, you would say you will shut down. But I would say, even though you are at a loss, you should continue. Why? I will show you in note number 1. You can give in bracket note number 1. I'll go to a fresh page now. Note number 1. Now we are selling only how many units over here? 1000 units. Once you sell 1000 units, we are having two options. Option 1, we can continue. Option 2, we can shut down. Okay. If I continue, I will get some contribution, correct? The contribution would be 1000 into 40 rupees, right? I am getting a contribution of how much over here? 40,000. My fixed cost will be both avoidable and unavoidable. That turns out to be how much? 50,000. So what is the loss I am making over here if I am continuing my business? I make a loss of 10,000. But suppose I am shutting down my business, okay? My contribution becomes 0. My fixed cost, avoidable fixed cost I can remove, but unavoidable fixed cost I still have to pay. Am I right? I still have to pay 40,000. So what is going to be my overall loss over here? My overall loss will be 40,000. So tell me, where am I making lower loss? I am making lower loss over here, and hence this is called as the this is said to be continue. Can you please draw this chart in your books? Please let me know if I am going fast. I will slow down. One minute, friends. Alright friends, please let me know if I am going fast or if I am going slow. Alright friends, I believe you are all clear with this. So even though it's a loss, we will continue. Let me give you the next question now. This one I want you also to think and tell me the answer, even though I will do it on the board parallelly. 500 units. I am sure we are making a loss. But should we continue or should we shut down? Come on friends, think and tell me. Even though it is a loss, I would say we should continue. Why? I will give you in note number 2 now. Okay? Can I go to the note number 2? Write down till here first. Write down till here. Alright friends, I'll now go and write down and show you why it will be at a continuing position. Again, I have two options over here. What is the first option? Continue. What is the second option? Shut down. Okay. If I continue, I will be making 500 units into 40. Is that turning out to be 20,000? What will be my fixed cost over here? 50,000. So what is going to be my loss over here? It will be 30,000. But if I shut down, my contribution will become 0. My fixed cost will remain at how much? 40. What will be my loss in this case? 40,000. Okay. So which is a better option? Should I continue or should I shut down? By continuing, my loss is going to be less. Hence, I should continue. Can you please write down till here in your books now, friends? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? Next question, I'll go back. Okay, so we did about 500 units. Okay, now shall we do the next one? Next one, let us try for 200 units. This is also a loss. Let us go and check it. I'll draw a picture. 200. We can either continue or we can shut down. If I continue at 200, it is 200 into 40, that is 8,000. Okay. Fixed cost is 50,000. My loss turns out to be how much? 42,000. If I shut down, my loss will be how much? 40,000. So tell me friends, at this point, which is better? Is it better to go for continue or shut down? It is better to go for shut down. Can you draw this chart in your books now? Alright friends, have you put up till here in your books? So I'll go back over here and I'll write down at this point what are we going to do? Okay, we will shut down. Now I come to the final point, 250 units. This is also running at a loss. Let us go and check for 250 units. If I continue or if I shut down. If I continue, it will be 250 into what? 40 rupees. Do you get the answer as 10,000? The fixed cost will be how much? 50,000. Okay. So what is the loss going to be over here? The loss will be 40,000. Shut down, directly you make a loss of 40. Friends, at this point, if you continue or shut down, you get exactly the same answer. Hence, this is what we call it as the shutdown point. Can you draw this chart in your books now, all of you? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books? I hope everything is comfortable. Anyone else wants to send me a message, you can either do it on my WhatsApp or you can do it on tarunjagdish.com/chat. Okay, any doubts you can post it over here. Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? Fine. So you get the loss as 40,000, 40,000. I'll just go over here and I'll write down. This point is called as what? It is called as the shut down point. Okay. Just write down this and then I'll give you the formula for this one. Alright friends, I'll just go and now explain and give you the formula. Friends, shutdown point can be found out in two methods. One, shutdown point can be found in units or it can be found in rupees. If you talk about units, the formula is avoidable fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Okay. So in our case, the avoidable fixed cost is how much? 10,000 divided by 40. You would get the answer as 250 units. Or for rupees, the formula would be avoidable fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Okay. So that would turn out to be 10,000 divided by what is the PV ratio we are having? I believe it is 40%. Just do it and tell me what answer you get over there. You get the number as 25,000 rupees. Can you write down this in your books now? Alright friends, I believe everything is comfortable. If any doubts are there, please do let me know. If I am going fast also, please let me know. If I am going a little slow, it's okay. Being the initial 1 week of demo going on, I don't want to rush and don't want to go very quickly. Okay. Fine friends. Now, once you've got the answer, I'll draw a chart now. Earlier we drew a chart where we got the break-even point. I believe the break-even point was 1,250, correct? So 1,250. 0 to 1,250 is actually a loss. Above this is profit. But I'll just put one more line over here. Here I'll put it as 250 units. Okay. If it's a profit, you would continue. Okay. Above 250 also you would continue even though it is a loss. Below 250 you will shut down and it is actually a loss. Okay, let's put it this way. Can you draw this chart in your books? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? So I believe you are all clear with what is a shutdown point. Okay. So we are clear with the shutdown point. Now we go to the next concept in marginal costing. Okay. We will call it as key factor analysis. This is the final part of marginal costing which we need to learn. After which we will go to the chapter called as pricing. Okay. Please write down this in your books now, friends. Alright friends, I will now give you a very simple example. Yesterday we spoke about masala dosa, right? Let me take one person from the chat box now. Let us talk about Sanjana. Okay. Let us say Sanjana is running a hotel whose name is Sanjana's Dosa Corner. What will Sanjana sell in Sanjana's Dosa Corner? She sells dosas. Okay. So she is actually making two types of dosas. 1 minute, friends. Little hanging is happening. Okay. Yeah. She is making two types of dosas. One is a masala dosa, and let us say the second one is onion dosa. Alright. So I'll just give you some details about masala dosa and onion dosa, particulars. I'll call it as MD, OD. Okay. Let us say the selling price of masala dosa is 100. Onion dosa, how much is the selling price here? Is it more or is it less? Let's keep it as 110. Okay. Variable cost, let us say, is 60. 1 minute, friends. Yeah, 60. Here, let us say it is turning out to be 80. Contribution per dosa is, let us say, 40. And here, let us say it is 30. Okay. Now, time taken to make one dosa, alright. Let us assume the time taken to make one dosa is masala dosa is 10 minutes. Okay. But let's say onion dosa can be made in 5 minutes of time. You don't have to boil any potatoes, so you save time. Let's assume it that way for time being. Alright. This data is available. Now, suddenly one guy comes to Sanjana's restaurant, and this guy goes and gives an order. He says in the next 1 hour, okay, in the next 1 hour, he wants 5 masala dosa and he wants 5 onion dosas. Okay, I'll give you time to write down, friends. Please interact with me. I know I cannot hear you, but whatever I speak, you just talk back to me so that you get the understanding of what we are talking here. Contribution is given. It takes 10 minutes to make a masala dosa and it takes 5 minutes to make an onion dosa. Suddenly one guy comes and says, in the next 1 hour, I need 5 masala dosa and 5 onion dosa. First thing what Sanjana will now do is, she will check whether it is practical. So I'll call it as a new order. For this new order, what she will do, she will check what is the time available. Time available is 60 minutes. That fellow told he needs in the next 1 hour. Second part is time required. Okay. 5 masala dosa will require 10 minutes. 5 onion dosa will require 5 minutes. So it's 50 and 25. Total will turn out to be how many minutes over here? It will be 75 minutes. Alright. So now one thing is for sure, Sanjana cannot make all the dosas. She has to compromise on something. Either she has to compromise on masala dosa or she has to compromise on onion dosa. Which one will she compromise is the question we are trying to answer over here. Okay. Can you do one thing first? Can you write down till here in your books? I'll go to the next page now. Friends, I believe you've all written down till here in your books now. Can I go to the next page? Alright friends, everybody has put up till here. Then you write down this also in your books. Alright friends, I believe I put up till here. Friends, this scenario is what we call it as a key factor. Why? Because the time available over here is only how much? 16 minutes. But the time required is actually how much? 75 minutes. So I'll write down key factor means it's a situation where resources available is less than resources required. Okay, so what we do in this case is that in order to optimize our profit, we find contribution per key factor. I'll write down, then I'll explain to you. In order to optimize profits, we should find the contribution per key factor and rank based on it. Okay, can you write down this in your books, friends? I will then explain to you what this means. Alright friends, now I will tell you what we will do in this case. We've got the contribution as 40, 30, am I right? So I just come over here, I'll draw a fresh table, particulars, MD, OD. Contribution, what is the contribution that you got over here? Do you get it as 40 and 30? 40, 30, that is the contribution. Okay, we have the time per unit. Okay, how much is the time per unit? That is 60, sorry, not 60 minutes, 10 minutes and 5 minutes, am I right? So from this I can find out contribution per minute. So I would get the answer as 4 rupees per minute over here, and here I'll get the answer as 6 rupees per minute. It means for every 1 hour I work on the masala dosa, I get 4 rupees money, whereas for every 1 minute that I work on onion dosa, I am making 6 rupees over there. So tell me friends, what is better? First, what should I make? I should first make onion dosa. So when I give a rank, I will give a rank 1 over here, rank 2 over here. Okay, so that's the contribution per minute, ranking based on contribution per minute. Now I will write down what is the time required. Okay, I believe they have told 5 and 5, so here the time required is actually 15 minutes, and here it is 25 minutes, correct? Total time required is how much? 75. But what is the time which is available? You put it in 60. Total available time is only 60. First, what will I make now? Onion dosa or masala dosa? First, I will make onion dosa. 25 minutes first I'll allot over here. Okay. Whatever is the balance, 35 minutes I will allot to masala dosa. Okay. So from this, maximum units which I can produce would be, I can produce the entire 5 onion dosa. Okay. But in 35 minutes, I can make only 3.5 masala dosa. For time being, I am assuming that the owner has no problem in having half masala dosa. Alright, can you write down this in your books now, all of you? Please write down slowly and understand this part thoroughly. Okay. Only after that we will take it forward. Friends, I believe you have put up till here. So the logic is very simple, friends. Whenever the resources available is less than the resources required, what we do is we rank it based on the key factor. Here, time is a problem. Am I right? So what we'll do is we'll find out the contribution per minute. So once we do that, we got the answer as 4 for masala dosa, 6 for onion dosa, which means for every 1 minute I am working to make masala dosa, I get 4 rupees, and for every 1 minute I am working to make an onion dosa, I am getting 6 rupees. So which one should I make first? I should make onion dosa first, only then I should make masala dosa. Everybody clear with this part? And we got the answer as 3.5 masala dosa and 5 onion dosas. So I'll give you the optimum contribution now. 5 masala dosa into, not 5, yeah, how many masala dosas are we making? 3.5 masala dosa into, what is the contribution of masala dosa? Is it 40 rupees? 5 onion dosa into 30 rupees. So here I am getting 150. Here I am getting, how much is 40 into 3.5? That is 140. So I get the total as how much? 290. Can you write down till here in your books now? Alright friends, I believe you are clear with this. Maybe I'll just show you. Suppose I made masala dosa, and then with the time available I made onion dosa. Let us check if I'm making good profit or no. Okay, I'll just give it. Okay, profit if masala dosa was made first. Now this is something what many of you will be thinking. How can you say that onion dosa is giving a better profit? I'll just tell you that. Let us say I'm having total how many minutes? 60 minutes. Okay. So first I will make 5 masala dosas. It will take how many minutes of mine? It will take 15 minutes. And I will be getting how much rupees contribution? 40 rupees. So will I be getting 200 rupees over here? Now, once I make masala dosa, what is my time remaining? The time remaining would be only how many minutes now? It will be only 10 minutes. Okay. So 5 masala dosa, 15 minutes. I make 200. In 10 minutes, how many onion dosa can I make? It takes 5 minutes, right? So I can make 2 onion dosa. Am I right? If I am making 2 onion dosa, for each onion dosa, what is the contribution? I am getting 30. I'll get how much money? 60. What will be my overall contribution? It will be 260 rupees. But when I went by 5 onion dosa and 3.5 masala dosa, my contribution was 290. Okay, hence 3.5 MD plus 5 OD is better as they give optimum contribution. This will prove everything to you. Can you write down like this in your books? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? So we are done with contribution per unit also, and with it we are done with the entire basics of marginal costing. Let's recall whatever we learned friends. Why I started with marginal costing was at the final level, whichever chapter you do decision making, you do relevant costing, whatever chapter we do, it is all correlated and interlinked with marginal costing. Alright. So I believe you are all clear with this part. Shall we go to a proper chapter at the CA final level? What I did right now was only a basics. This is not as a chapter in your final, but unless you know these basics, you will find it very difficult to cope up with the syllabus over here. So let's now go to a proper chapter. Then write down the next chapter's name in your books, pricing. So let me give you an overview of how I will be taking my class, not only for pricing, but for all the chapters. Okay, we will start with concepts. First, we will learn all the concepts. So by the time you learn the concept, you will understand the logic thoroughly. Based on the concepts, we will solve the problems which are there in your study material and a few problems which are not there in your study material also. Once we do these two, only then I will go and give you theory. Because by the time you actually complete the concepts and the problem, half the theory you learn it there itself. So only the remaining half I will have to stress. And normally theory is a point where people find it a little bit boring. So we can keep that towards the end. Okay. Can you put this overview in your books, friends? Alright friends, let's start with the concepts now. I'll give you an overview of the concepts that we are going to learn over here. Okay. Mainly, this chapter is all about different types of pricing, different types of pricing, and it is also about profit maximization using a linear equation. Okay, fine. Let me not put it that way. Let me give it as new product versus existing product. There is one more thing that we have to learn later on, which is profit maximization. This one is something exclusively to new, so we will do it in depth. Friends, the following types of pricing are there once you take the costing chapter. Cost plus pricing, market based pricing, then we are having the next one called as ROI based pricing. We have NP ratio based pricing. Alright, and please give this overview, then we will go in depth and we will learn the entire chapter of pricing. And friends, one more important thing, May 2021, they have amended a lot of things. Okay, they have added on a lot of new questions which are very, very crucial for the coming examination. So please make sure that you learn the updated study material, not go by the old study material. Alright? Fine friends, I believe you have put up till here. Let us start with different types of pricing today. Okay, after that we will go and we will do the remaining. Okay, so I am starting over here. First, what is the meaning of the word pricing? Pricing basically means how much price should I fix for a product. This in a very simple methodology is what we are trying to ask, and for this there are many methods. The common ones is what I am putting over here. The first one is cost plus pricing, then you have market based pricing, then you are having ROI based pricing, and the last one is NP ratio based pricing. Okay, so this is the question what we are trying to answer over here. How much price should I fix for a product, not only for a product or for a service. Okay, can you please write down this in your books now, friends? Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books? So let us learn these pricings one by one as separate concepts. Okay, so I'll write down concept number one. I will write down over here concept number one, cost plus pricing. Okay, this is a very simple methodology of pricing, friends. Under this methodology, selling price will be equal to cost plus profit. Okay, so we can say that C plus P is equal to S. S is equal to C plus P. Can you write down this in your books? I'll give you a few examples after you complete writing this. Alright friends, I believe you have put up till here. Example number 1. Okay, if cost is given as 100 rupees, profit is given as 10 percentage on cost, what will be the selling price? Selling price will be 100 plus 10%, that is equal to how much over here? 110 rupees. This is a very simple example. Please write down in your books. We'll start from the base and we'll do everything from scratch. Alright friends, I'll now give you example number 2. I'll make it a little bit more tricky. Cost is 100. Profit is said to be 10% on selling price, and now they want you to find out the selling price. So here I'll use the equation. It will be 100 plus, I'll take 10% of selling price. I'll call selling price as X. It will be 0.10 X is equal to X. So 100 is equal to 0.90 X. Therefore, X is equal to 100 divided by 0.90. I'll give the answer as 111.11. You write down this in your books now. I believe you're clear with these two methodologies. They can do it in many more different models. I just give you basic two examples of how they can actually question you as far as the exam is concerned. So we are done with cost plus pricing. Can I go to the next concept now? Concept number 2 is called as market based pricing. Market based pricing. Okay. So once we're talking about market based pricing, this does not have any such formula, and this is what is in reality used. Okay. If the market is absorbing in a particular price, if your neighbor is selling a cup of tea for 10 rupees, you would also end up selling a cup of tea for 10 rupees only. You cannot sell it at 9 rupees, or you might sell it lower. You cannot sell it at a higher price, let's say 11 rupee or a 12 rupee. Under this, basically there are two methods coming over here. One is called as skimming, and the other one is called as penetration. Okay. What do you mean by price skimming? Initially you will charge very high prices, and then you will slowly lower it down. What do you mean by price penetration? Initially we will go very low, and then subsequently we will slowly start increasing the pricing. Can you tell me an example of price skimming? Have you bought an iPhone? That is a classic example of price skimming. They will charge so high for the phone that a research has actually proven that people who take iPhones do not like to take selfies. What they normally do is they'll go stand in front of a mirror and take a photo of theirs because they want the Apple phone also to come in the picture. That is a way of show off. That is the kind of impact that these iPhones are making in the market. They go with an extremely high pricing, 60,000, 70,000, 1 lakh, and I've seen people getting these phones on installment basis also. That's a kind of brand royalty what Apple has actually created. An example of price penetration is Jio. They came up with an extremely aggressive free SIM card service for almost 1 year, and then they charged a very nominal price, but they actually killed the whole market. In fact, friends, I'm not sure if you study the stock market. I like studying the stock market, and there was a day when Ambani came on news live. He came on news live and he gave a 45 minutes of speech that I'm coming up with an idea called as Jio, and this is going to be free for the entire country, internet, etc. Blah blah blah. Friends, that moment, if you check the stock market, the prices of Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, all the three crashed down by almost 12,000 crores in 45 minutes. The moment Ambani went on talking, people went on selling the share and the prices crashed down. That is an example of price penetration. Can you draw this chart and write down this in your books now? Alright friends, I believe you are done with market-based pricing also. Now I'll go to concept number 3. Concept number 3, ROI based pricing. Okay, this is a pricing which is used by investors, and this normally doesn't work in the routine scenarios. It works only in some extreme cases only. Alright, for example, let me catch a person from this class as an investor. Ashwin S. Kumar, he is a very big businessman. Okay, this guy is running his own business. So once he's doing his own business, if he invests 100 rupees, he is getting a 20% return. Okay, now Ashwin Kumar has decided to start a new masala dosa corner. Okay. Now in this masala dosa corner, he will be having an investment of, let us say, 10 lakhs. Okay, so can you tell me what is the return expected by Ashwin S. Kumar? It will be 2 lakhs. How did I get this 2 lakhs? 10 lakhs into 20%. Can you write down till here in your books, and I'll go to the next page. Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books? Okay. Now let us say in this masala dosa corner, okay, Ashwin is going to fix a selling price of, let us say, 100. He is going to have a variable cost of, let us say, 60. So what is going to be his contribution? Okay, his contribution, sorry, we don't know the selling price. We are trying to decide what will be the selling price over here. Okay, so this is not available. I'll call it as a question mark. So this also I don't know. But I know that my fixed cost is going to be 5 lakhs per annum. Okay. After the fixed cost, only what will I get over here? I will be making my profit. Okay. So basically the question is, Ashwin says he is invested 10 lakhs. He needs a profit of how much over here? He needs a profit of 2 lakhs. So we'll do a backward working now. We'll start from here. Desired profit is turning out to be 2 lakhs. Okay. Fixed cost we know is how much? 5 lakhs. From this, can I do a backward working and find out what is going to be my desired contribution? Okay. Let us say he is selling 1000 units. His desired contribution will be how much? 7 lakhs. Alright. So if desired contribution is 7 lakhs and the units what we are having is 1000 units. Okay. What is going to be my contribution per unit, what I am desiring over here? It will be 700. Oh, wait. Okay, let's keep it as 700 rupees per unit. I think I have taken some extreme numbers over here. What is the variable cost that we are having? 60. I think I should increase the number of units sold. Let's make it 10,000 friends. So, at least this 700 will come down to 70. Variable cost is how much? 60. So what should be my target selling price or my desired selling price in this case? Do I get the answer as 130 rupees per unit in this case? Alright. Can you write down this in your books now, friends? This is what we call it as ROI based pricing, where we do a backward working. We take a desired profit, we come down and we find out the selling price. Alright, friends, I believe everything is comfortable. If I am going fast, please let me know. I will slow down. Friends, I believe you are clear with this part. Can I go to the next one now? Alright friends, have you all put up till here? Okay, can I go to the next part? So we have learned about concept 3 ROI based pricing also. Let's go to the next one, concept number 4. Pricing based on NP ratio. Pricing based on NP ratio. Alright, friends, here what is the formula for NP ratio? The formula for NP ratio is nothing but net profit divided by sales. Okay, suppose we'll take one person from this classroom. Suppose we are talking about Divya Tom. Okay, let's assume Divya is a person who believes in NP ratio. Okay, and she's already having a business where if she's selling for 100, she gets 15 in her hands. So her NP ratio will turn out to be how much over here? Her NP ratio will turn out to be 15 percentage, 1.5. Assume that is the target, or let's take it as 20, so that we don't have any complications with 15. 20% is the NP ratio that she is desiring. Whatever she produces and sells, she wants a 20% NP ratio. Okay, so let me come over here now. And let me just put it this way. Suppose she has units that she is selling is 10,000 units. Selling price is what we need to decide. Variable cost is, as I told, 60. And let us say fixed cost, as I took it earlier, is turning out to be how much? 5 lakhs. Okay. So we need to find out what should be the selling price so that Divya can get her target NP ratio of how much percentage? 20%. Alright. So I'll just do one thing. I'll do a backward working now. We know there are 10,000 units. I'll call selling price as X. So can I say 10,000 X is going to be my sale value? If 10,000 X is going to be my sale value, my NP should be 20% of this. So how much is 10,000 X into 20%? That turns out to be 2,000 X. Okay. So I'll just come over here. The profit what I'm looking at is 2,000 X. My fixed cost is how much? 5 lakhs. So my contribution will turn out to be what? It will be 2,000 X plus 5 lakhs. Okay. My variable cost would now be 60 into 10,000. How much is that turning out to be? 6 lakhs. So my selling price should turn out to be, or friends, let me put it in a different way. Let's try this. I'll go up to down. That will be easier for you to understand. Sorry friends, don't get confused. I'll start with sales value. Okay, what is the sales value that we are having over here? Is it turning out to be 10,000 X? My variable cost would turn out to be 6 lakhs. This would be easier to understand. My contribution would turn out to be 10,000 X minus what? Minus 6 lakhs. Then I have a fixed cost of how much? 5 lakhs. So my profit would turn out to be 10,000 X minus what? Minus 11 lakhs. Okay. So once I get this answer, I would say my desired profit is supposed to be 2000 X. Okay. So from this we can now create an equation that 2000 X should be equal to 10,000 X minus 11 lakhs. So 8,000 X would be equal to 11 lakhs. Therefore, X would be equal to 137.5. So the conclusion is that if my selling price is 137.5, I get an NP ratio of 10%. Okay. Can you write down from here now in your books? I'll go to the next page now. Friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? Can I go to the next page? Just write down this in your books now. Alright friends, have you all put up till here in your books now? So we are done with this method of pricing also. So as we spoke about the conceptual part, we learned all the four methods of pricing: cost plus pricing, market based pricing, ROI based pricing, and what's the last one? Pricing based on NP ratio. Fine friends, shall we take a break now? We will take a 20 minutes of break. After the break, we will continue with the next session. Alright? So friends, see you after the break. Thank you so much.